I watched Sean's video about J.K. Rowling's new friends, and I totally would recommend that you go over there and watch it. But I walk away from that experience, and I've noted this before myself in my own notes, something relatively similar. I am utterly disgusted by the fact that J.K. Rowling is able to get away with the shit that she's able to get away with, and is able to say it, and nobody calls her on it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm fucking tired of it. And so, I had to come straight out and say these things. Rowling and her new allies are so blinded by their hatred that they've lost perspective and ability to see the forest for the fucking trees. As far as women's rights and on women's issues are concerned, we are watching women's rights be cannibalized on the altar of transphobic bullshit in real time. I think it's more important that women have the right to terminate an unwanted pregnancy, and that being a lesbian not be a crime, than taking down trans women could ever dream of being as far as an issue, which is at most a side panel issue to the issue of Roe versus Wade and everything else going on that is affecting women. And yet somehow J.K. Rowling is getting away with this bullshit, and very few people have the nerve and audacity to come straight out and call her on it. Let's be real about it. I don't like the way that my trans friends are being treated, but that's small potatoes compared to how painful Roe versus Wade being overturned was to me. Women will die as a result of those policies. I'm well aware of it because I had the freaking intellectual curiosity to look into, why doctors, were on this side of the fence that they were on originally, and why they changed their minds into supporting it. And then, oh, look, all the women that bled out and had internal infections as a result of having botched abortions, you know? But I'm aware of this, and that women will die as a result of these policies, because when you deny them choices, they take matters into their own hands and do desperate things. What? But we're watching women's rights be cannibalized just to take down trans folks. Folks is also painful, and that's what really grinds me and disgusts me. Rowling and her allies are so blinded by their hatred that they can't see the forest for the trees. In the end, with feminists like that, who needs enemies of women? So if you think this is about my trans friends, not half as much as it is the cishet and bisexual women who I actually adore. What's happening to the trans community is bad, but for me, what's happening to cis women is worse, in the sense that your natural allies have sold your freedom up the river in order to try to fight what they label the trans agenda. They lost perspective in their hatred. They forgot that that there were struggles and fights far more central and important than trans women, and in doing this, have given trans women a platform to respond. Your hatred has only validated them. After all, what could be a more essential feminist cause than the right to terminate an unwanted pregnancy? Trans women? Are you fucking serious? Are you kidding me? Get the fuck out and stop pretending that you're a fucking feminist. Your priorities are fucked up. Trans women are a distraction, but let's treat them as if they're the central fucking point and issue. You're the ones that put them on the central platform. You did that yourselves, and you did that to yourselves and gave them a voice through your hatred. They don't belong there. I I personally, in all of this, have trans friends and everything, and I support their rights. But you know as well as I do that this issue is not important enough to be the fucking main issue when it comes to feminism. But now it is, you know, and you did that to yourself. That wound was self-inflicted, and it was not necessary that it be there at all. You people, like, you think, I mean, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the way that she's getting away with it, and that no one's calling her on her shit. You know what? I'm going to use my platform at this point to formally accuse the gender criticals of a great deception. You lying sacks of shit have never been feminist to begin with. You're lying when you call yourself a feminist. this is a formal accusation.